You know, Monza isn't just another stop on the calendar, it's the temple of speed. Every single year, this track has a way of rewriting storylines, and this time the stakes feel higher than ever. After what we just saw in the Netherlands, the championship fight has tilted in a big way, and Monza might actually decide if there's still a fight left at all. Oscar Piastri has pulled 34 points clear of Lando Norris after that painful DNF in Zandvoort, and while that doesn't mathematically end things, you and I both know in a head-to-head battle, that kind of gap can feel almost impossible. Still, when you look at Monza's long straights and slipstream battles, this place can flip the script in a single lap. It's a track where mistakes are punished brutally, but bravery can win you everything. And it's not just about the title chase. Ferrari are under pressure to deliver at home, Red Bull have one of their drivers fighting to keep his seat, and then there's Hamilton starting with a penalty that could really shake up the grid. There are so many storylines colliding here, and that's exactly what makes Monza the race everyone will be glued to. Let me throw this to you. Do you think the championship swing is basically over now? Yes or no? I want you to drop your quick answer in the comments. And while you're at it, subscribe to the channel and enable the notification bell. Your subscription is super important to us, and it helps us get closer to our goal of 1,000 subscribers. Stick with me, because in a moment, we'll get into the McLaren drama, how Norris and Piastri are handling this unexpected role reversal, and whether Lando can really bounce back here in Italy. So let's talk about McLaren, because honestly, this is where the heart of the drama lies. Lando Norris came into Zandvoort still believing he could keep Oscar Piastri under control, but that DNF changed everything. One mechanical failure, and suddenly Piastri has momentum, confidence, and a 34-point cushion. That's not just a lead, that's breathing room. And now, with Monza on the horizon, Norris finds himself in a real bind. Here's the problem. Lando has already maxed out nearly all his engine components. The only piece still fresh is the exhaust system, which means McLaren are standing at a crossroads. Do they bite the bullet and give him a brand new power unit at Monza, forcing him to take a grid penalty? Or do they gamble, stick with the old engine and risk being underpowered at the fastest track in Formula One? It's a classic lose-lose on paper, but the choice they make could decide whether Norris still has a shot at the championship. Think about how Monza works. It's slipstreams, DRS trains, and pure horsepower. If you're running an engine that's even a little tired, you're not just fighting your rivals, you're fighting physics. So in a way, Monza is the perfect place to take that penalty. Drop to the back, use the straights to slice through the field, and if everything goes right, maybe you still salvage second place. The issue? If Oscar Piastri is leading that race, he stretches the gap even further, and suddenly we're not talking about a title fight anymore. We're talking about damage limitation for the rest of the year. Now, you know Lando, he's not the kind of guy to give up just because of one DNF. He's built his whole career on resilience, and he knows that one bad weekend doesn't end a championship. But at the same time, he can't afford another slip. Here, he needs to keep the pressure on Oscar, otherwise this fight gets wrapped up before we even hit the final stretch. Let me ask you directly, if you were McLaren, what would you do? Take the new engine now at Monza and hope Lando can fight back through the field? Or gamble on the old unit and pray it holds together for one more weekend? Drop your vote in the comments because I really want to see where you stand on this. And if you're backing Norris in this comeback fight, go ahead and hit the like button right now. It's a small way to show some support. Up next, we'll shift gears and look at Ferrari. They're coming home under massive pressure, and even with the odds stacked against them, Monza is always the place where their fans demand magic. The question is, can they actually deliver? Now let's get into Ferrari. Because no matter what the standings say, Monza is always about the red cars. This is the race where passion spills over the fences, where the tifosi fill every grandstand, waving flags, singing, and demanding a performance worthy of their devotion. But here's the reality. Ferrari arrives under massive pressure and not a lot of optimism. After the struggles in Zandvoort, the team is still trying to find stability. Yes, they've had flashes of brilliance this season, but consistency has been missing. To make things tougher, Lewis Hamilton picked up a 5-place grid penalty after failing to slow under double yellows in the last race. That might not sound like Ferrari's problem, but it matters, because penalties shuffle the grid, and Monza's turn 1 is chaos when fast cars start out of position. For Ferrari, that means opportunity or danger. Charles Leclerc knows exactly what it means to win here. Back in 2019, he gave Ferrari one of its most emotional victories of the decade. The crowd reaction was unreal, and moments like that remind you why Monza is called the Temple of Speed. Can he repeat that magic? On pure pace, it's a stretch. But when it comes to Leclerc, you never fully count him out. His wheel-to-wheel skill is elite, and with a smart one-stop strategy, like the one that worked for him before, he could still shake things up. Team boss Frédéric Vasseur has been clear. Ferrari can't give up on the season, even if 2026 is already their long-term focus. And honestly, he's right. The fans deserve a fight, especially at home. Even a podium here would feel like redemption after the ups and downs they've endured this year. Let me ask you this. Would a Ferrari win at Monza restore your faith in them? Yes or no? Drop your answer in the comments. And while you're there, tell me your favorite Ferrari Monza memory. I know a lot of you have moments burned into your minds, and I'd love to see which ones stand out most. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect time. Your subscription helps us get closer to our 1,000 subscriber goal, and it means you won't miss a single update as this wild season unfolds. Coming up, we're switching to Red Bull, where the second seat is under fire yet again. Tsunoda is fighting for his career, and Monza could be make or break for him. Let's dig into that drama next. Red Bull might not be leading the headlines with the championship fight right now, but trust me, the drama around their second seat is just as intense. Yuki Tsunoda finds himself in a make-or-break stretch, and Monza could end up defining his entire future with the team. Here's the situation. Red Bull has made it clear they want Tsunoda to close the gap to Max Verstappen to prove he belongs at this level. But while Yuki has had flashes of speed, consistency hasn't always been there. And that's exactly what the team is measuring right now. On the other side, Isaac Hadjar has come into the picture with real momentum. He just scored his first podium, and that changes everything. Suddenly, the pressure on Yuki is heavier than it's ever been. To make things even tighter, Helmut Marko has already hinted that the deadline for deciding this second seat is around the Mexican Grand Prix. That doesn't give Yuki much time, and Monza isn't exactly the kind of place where you can hide mistakes. It's high speed, unforgiving, and every trip through the gravel traps could mean the end of your race. For Tsunoda, it's simple. He has to score points here, or risk being pushed further down the Red Bull pecking order. Now, Yuki himself has been open about it. He said his main goal is just to score points. Nothing more, nothing less. And you can understand why, at this stage, it's about proving to himself and to the team that he's still in the fight. But with Hadjar showing promise and other young drivers circling, the question becomes whether that second Red Bull seat is really a promotion or a career killer. So here's what I want you to think about. If you were in Red Bull's shoes, would you stick with Tsunoda through the season, or would you take the gamble on fresh blood? Let me know in the comments. I really want to see how divided people are on this. And while you're dropping your opinion, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Every subscription takes us one step closer to our 1,000 subscriber goal, and it guarantees you won't miss the latest twists in stories like this. Next, we'll wrap things up with predictions, the possible dark horse at Monza, and the scenarios that could completely flip the championship picture once again. So after all of this, what can we actually expect when the lights go out at Monza? On paper, it feels like another duel between Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris. But we both know this track has a way of surprising everyone. If Norris takes that engine penalty, then Piastri has the edge to extend his lead. But if something goes wrong, the whole championship picture could flip again. That's the beauty of racing at the Temple of Speed. One safety car, one bold overtake, and suddenly everything changes. Ferrari, of course, are the emotional favorite here. Even if the odds aren't in their favor, a clever strategy and a bit of luck could put Charles Leclerc or Carlos Sainz on the podium. And let's not forget Max Verstappen. He may be out of the title fight this year, but you know Max. If he smells blood, he'll go for the win just to remind everyone why he's a four-time world champion. But if you ask me for a dark horse, I'm looking at someone outside of the title battle. Maybe even a Ferrari if strategy falls their way, or a Mercedes sneaking through the chaos. Monza always has at least one shock result, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a podium finish that no one predicted going in. Now it's your turn. Who do you think wins at Monza? Is it Piastri, Norris, Ferrari, or someone completely unexpected? Drop your pick in the comments right now, and if you've been with me all the way through this breakdown, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Your support is what keeps this channel growing. And every subscription gets us closer to that big goal of 1,000 subscribers. Stick around too, because our next video will dive even deeper into how this championship is shaping up. If Monza delivers the way I think it will, we're in for one of the most dramatic stretches of the season.